Stephanie from WorkSafe Tasmania. In recognition of the deep history and culture of this island, we acknowledge Tasmanian Aboriginal people, the original and continuing custodians of the land, sea and sky. We acknowledge and pay our respects to all Tasmanian Aboriginal people, all of whom have survived invasion and dispossession and continue to maintain their identity, culture and Aboriginal rights. Please take a moment now to read the following slide about information received today. Please use the chat page to type and submit any questions for today's presenter. Those questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. Webcams will only be used by presenters today, and today's webinar is also being recorded. It is now my pleasure to introduce today's presenter, Amanda Aiken from Mental Health Council of Tasmania. Amanda promotes health literacy, particularly in death and mental health. She aims to start conversations, reduce stigma, and encourage people to seek help. Amanda volunteers in her community, including with Parkin and Citizen Advocacy, and has experience in palliative care and the Encore Theatre Company. Amanda holds a bachelor's degree in marketing and a graduate diploma in counselling, and we welcome Amanda today.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. And thank you everyone for joining us today. So I'd like to talk to you about Take a Minute, which is our mental health and wellbeing literacy campaign. I know when we think about mental health, we often think about what's going wrong and how can we fix it. But this campaign is different. It sort of flips the script a bit. And we're talking about how do we help people identify what good mental health looks like for them and how they can maintain it. So over the next 20 minutes or so, we're going to just have a look at how the campaign was developed and how it might be useful in your workplace. And we're also going to try a little activity. So you might need your phone. If you have it near you, that would be good. Okay. So mental wellbeing literacy, you can see the definition there on the screen. Most of you might have already heard of mental health literacy. And the two things differ a bit. So mental health literacy is where we're talking about being able to recognise, manage and prevent mental ill health. That's, maybe by doing something like mental health first aid. And that's a really relevant and important thing, but this is different. So what we're talking about here is building a capability model. So encouraging people to identify what's going well, identify the things that they use, the things that they already have, the resources they have that promote their mental well-being. So it's a capability model that we're looking at. So the campaign, these were the goals that, or perhaps even the KPIs that came out of the agreement to build this campaign. And our big goal is to raise mental wellbeing literacy in Tasmania. So giving everybody the ability to say what mental health is for me and how I maintain it. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. It's whole of population. At the moment, we are working on a separate youth-based project, but that will piggyback on the back of this. So what we're doing is working with young people to co-design what mental wellbeing literacy looks like for them based on this campaign. And it's also strengths-based. We're not talking about what you need to start or what you need to do or what you need to go and get. We're talking about what have you already got and how do those things contribute to your mental wellbeing. We've used a targeted approach at a community and workplace level. And that means that we've gone into community groups, sometimes whole communities and workplaces, and said, now how do you normally communicate? What's the best way to run this campaign? So it's been quite adaptable as well. The positive, consistent language, we talk, sometimes people see that and they go, it's all about toxic positivity. You've got to be happy all the time. And that's not what it's about. What it's about is using positive strengths-based language to build our mental well-being. And of course, the more we talk about mental health in general, then we decrease stigma. And by doing that, we increase the opportunities for people to seek help if they need it. And then the bottom one there is this new approach. We're focusing on promotion and prevention and early action to maintain mental well-being. So what can we do in our everyday lives, at work, at home, with our families, to promote our own mental health? So we work with some researchers based in South Australia, pardon me. They're associated with SAMRI, the South Australian Health and Medical Research Institute. Um, and the two researchers that we work with specifically are experts in mental wellbeing literacy. So I've got health literacy there, but it's mental wellbeing literacy and in behavioural change. And that's an important part of the campaign that we've written in, that when you do the activity and keep it front of mind, that's how we change our behaviour. It's evidence-based. We've had an initial evaluation that finished in March, and we're in the process of evaluating, and a new report will be available at the end of this year. Yeah, we've had just a survey out this week, and I've got some comments for you towards the end of this presentation on how people have found that it's been really helpful. And then the next one is the video. So I think Per's going to play that. This is the concept of take a minute.
Of their mental health and well-being. It asks us to consider the simple things that we can and often already do to stay on top of and boost our and the positive ways we can achieve it. Find out more at takeaminute.com.
Thanks, Per. So that's the concept. The overarching concept is take a minute. Let's identify what good mental well-being looks like for us. But what gives us a sense of well-being? These are domains that are widely agreed upon, are things that promote our well-being. But the research that put them all together also identified that there wasn't really more than 50% consensus on what gives you mental well-being. So it's different for everybody. Everybody has areas that are more important to them than others. So the challenge that we had was to create a campaign that can be accessible for everyone, but also tailored and personalised at a really individual level. And what I thought we might do is try that. I know it sounds tricky. So what I'd really love you to do is grab your phone if it's handy, and if it's not handy, you can still play along, because I'd like you to find a photo of your favourite place and just have a look at it and think about why it's your favourite place. And if you're sitting in a room or an office with somebody else and you've got a minute to share it, that's really valuable as well. And I'd also love you to pop your answer in the chat, and Stephanie will read them out. Not your name, so you won't be identified, just what your favourite place is. I put up a photo of the rainforest. This is just at Lake St Clair. And I love visiting the rainforest because there's always lots of little surprises, and I love all the different greens and the different smells. So that's my answer, and I'd love to hear some of yours.
Okay, so a few comments coming in. So the beach, my home. There's a few more for the beach. Salt water, Snug Falls, Coral Bay, Western Australia. Again, on the beach, swimming in the ocean, no matter the weather. My favourite place is outdoors, especially on a beautiful day like today. Caravan park, we have an on-site caravan in Waiatina. Central Highlands at sunset with the birdsong. Craft room, home. Going to, say, the Hobart Points. Great surf, great location. Bali Bintang on the beach. Exploring anywhere in nature with my children. Gordon River, Cradle Mountain, my dog, from the dog's home. My horse paddock with my dogs. Barra Island, Harbour Beach. I don't have any photos of a place, just many photos of my cats. No photos in my phone, but always the beach. Kenyani on a cruise ship. Anywhere there is a waterfall. I love sounds, fresh air, isolating, time to think. Mersey River, Roaring Maggie's, Swansea Beach, Cable Beach, WA, Noosa, Main Beach, Arches, Knob, my friend's pottery studio, my uncle's place on Christmas Day, all of the family together, and we always have lots of laughs. Watching sunset in a beach, Bruny Island, Coles Bay, feeling the sand on my bare feet.
That's amazing. Thank you, everyone that contributed. Um, what what we're doing there is identifying a wellbeing resource that we have in our lives. Um, and it might be a place that we belong. It might be a place that we feel connected. It might be a place that we feel safe or relaxed, or there'd be probably just as many different why is that my favorite place as there is this is my favorite place, although the beach always seems to be the most popular, or the ocean. And so what we're doing there is saying, I have a resource that contributes to my mental well-being, and that's the place that you identified. And when I go to that place, or I think about that place, or I can tap into the feelings I have when I am at that place, then that boosts my mental well-being. And it sounds really simple, doesn't it? But it's actually quite scientific, and we worked really hard to make it a really simple activity. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had someone to share it with as well, because that's always fun. So I'll just go along here. What we found from our interim report was that the initial results are really promising, that people really enjoyed the campaign, and that's what we were testing for, was enjoyment, but also evidence of improved literacy, saying, you know, it's important that I get to the beach this week for my mental well-being, or it's important I spend time with my cats for my mental well-being. That's the sort of thing we're saying, that people have the language to be able to prioritise their mental well-being. And also that bottom one, improved awareness of aspects of life that help people feel well. And then feedback we've had, which is there, that it's quick and easy to engage with. It raised mental health conversations and helps teams reconnect as well. That's the other feedback that we've had. So the activity that I'm talking about is the 7-minute challenge. So every day for 7 days, we invite people to just take a minute to reflect on the people, activities and places that are important to them, using the photos on their phone, because the clues to our well-being are often in our camera roll. On day 1, we invite people to think about what they love to do or what brings them joy. On day 2, it's who are their best connections. Day 3 is the small and big things that bring meaning and purpose into your life. That can be a little bit of a tricky one, because we really equate purpose with achievement, but we're not talking about achievement here. We're talking about big and little things that bring meaning and purpose to your life. So it could be volunteering, it could be being a parent, it could be caring for your animals, or even smiling at people down the street, or being kind, something like that. Day 4 is the place activity, which we just did. Day 5 is what do you do to care for yourself? And day 6 is growth. What do you do for self-development or to help you grow as a person? And then on day 7, we invite people to have a look at their 6 photos from the previous days and write a pause, which is really their mental wellbeing literacy statement, to say, how can I prioritize these things that I've identified are good for my mental wellbeing? And if you chose your dog for connections and the beach for place, it could be as simple as walk my dog on the beach, or it could be keep volunteering and I don't know, and reading and learning. It's going to be unique to the person that has done the challenge. So I can't say everybody must do yoga on the beach on Sundays, because of course that's ridiculous. It's not going to fit in with what people do. So what we're trying to do is make sure that people can connect with the resources they already have and prioritise those. So I've got a little video to show you, which is just about the 7-minute challenge.
The 7-minute challenge is designed to It guides you through an easy process, allowing you to make the connection between simple pleasures and their positive benefits. It really only takes a minute a day. You can complete the challenge solo, in a group, in an organisation or workplace. Each day for 6 days, you'll be asked to take a minute to reflect on the things, people and places that are important to you. On day 7, you'll create your own pause, drawing inspiration from your 6 answers to see what you can do more of to improve the way you feel every day. Find out more at takeaminute.com.au.
Thank you. So that's the 7-minute challenge, and it says improve at the end. Like, it's not always about improving the way you feel, but it's about maintaining the good mental health that you might already enjoy as well. On the slide here, I've just got a few visuals. At the moment, the way we work with workplaces is to go in there and or email or chat with the person who is wanting to implement the campaign and find out what will work best for them. What's the best way to communicate with your team? What number of people should you have in each team? What day should you do it? Should you do it once every day for a week? Should you do it once a week for 7 weeks? It can be completely adaptable and used in a way that suits you the best. So the top there, the local government association, they ran it, and this is what they posted on their socials, the 7-minute challenge and some answers. And to the right of the screen, you'll see a Teams channel. So at our work, we had a dedicated Teams channel where somebody put up the post, the prompt for the day, and then we all contributed with a photo. And on the bottom there, it's absolutely possible to do it face to face in a team meeting as well. And that's probably what would work best, say once a week for 7 weeks. That's probably just sort of what I've gone through. You know, you can also use SMS or email or WhatsApp even, or a Facebook group. But I just wanted to give you some feedback that we've just got from the survey that we sent out a couple of weeks ago. And it was, what was the biggest impact? And somebody said it really prompted me to consider life from focusing on positive things rather than challenges and problems. It was a really great time to share and learn about our newer team members and reconnect with other members of the team that we don't see that much. It directed my focus to things that bring joy and meaning to my life. And our workplace is more open to talking about the impacts of our everyday actions on our mental health. So all of those I thought were pretty positive. And with this one, you might wonder where a campaign like this should fit. You know, if you've got a wellbeing strategy in your workplace, then you've probably got prevent harm, which is where you have your psychosocial risks and how you manage and reduce the risk of those psychosocial hazards in your workplace. You might also respond to illness, and that's where, if you have staff that already have poor mental health, you provide access such as easy access to an EAP, encouraging help seeking. But then the other important part of your wellbeing strategy should be to promote positive wellbeing strategies and promote mental wellbeing literacy. And that's where we fit in to your wellbeing strategy. So we've got continued engagement. It's not just the 7-minute challenge. People can sign up on our website to just get these monthly reminders. And these are all based on domains of wellbeing that we didn't use in the 7-minute challenge. And they come out once a month. And that's my last slide. What you've got there is a QR code. And if you go to the QR code, it will take you to the our website. And on our website, you'll see I'm Flying Solo. And if you sign up on I'm Flying Solo, it's just you, then you can either put your phone number or your email address in and you'll get prompts. So the prompts for the 7-minute challenge every day for 7 days, they'll come to your phone or your email. If you sign up on There's a Bunch of Us, then your email will either come to me if you're in the north, or John if you're in the south, and we'll provide you with the prompts to run the 7-minute challenge in your workplace. And we'll also hold your hand if you need it, or help you decide what the best way is to run it for your workplace. We also have a partnership option, and we encourage sharing on socials, and we can support you to do that as well. And I've run a little bit short, but I think I've come to the end there.
No, thank you very much, Amanda, for your presentation today. Take a minute promoting mental wellbeing in the workplace. So if anyone has any questions for our presenter today, Amanda Aiken from Mental Health Council Tasmania, please just enter them into the chat, and Amanda will respond. So just one comment that's come through, Amanda, sounds like a great campaign and very accessible.
Yeah, yep, thank you. I'm pretty proud of it, to be honest. And I know it sounds really simple and accessible, and I hope that it is, but we've had people come back and say, look, it just felt a bit too simple to engage in. I thought, what was the point? And then he kept going for the whole week, and he was quite surprised at the change in his behaviour. He actually said to me, I don't need to feel guilty about doing the things that are good for me, because I know they're good for my mental health, and that's what we're looking for.
How long does the literacy campaign run for?
So we're funded at the moment until the end of the financial year, and we're hopeful that we'll keep it going. So at the moment, people can engage in it wherever and whenever they're ready.
Fantastic. Can you repeat the topics for each day again, please?
Yeah, sure. So day 1 is what brings you joy, or what do you love to do? Day 2 is who is your connection? And that could be family, partner, your dog, your cats. Day 3 is the small and big things that bring meaning and purpose into your life. Day 4 is place, what's your favourite place? Day 5 is what do you do for self-care? And day 6 is what do you do to grow? That's the self-development prompt. And day 7 is the day you write your mental wellbeing literacy statement. And I keep saying days, but it can be weeks.
Okay, good. Are there any costs involved to sign up to the
No,
challenge?
supported by the Tasmanian government.
Thanks. And just to remind everyone, today's webinar has been recorded, so please head to WorkSafe Tasmania's YouTube page at the end of WorkSafe Tasmania month to rewatch today's webinar, or to view any other webinars that you may like to review, or you may have missed during this year's WorkSafe Tasmania month. A few comments of thank you there, Amanda.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
So if you're ready, then I'll begin to wrap up today's presentation, Amanda. So thank you to our presenter today, Amanda Aiken from Mental Health Council of Tasmania, for her webinar, Take a Minute Promoting Mental Wellbeing in the Workplace. Today's webinar was run as part of WorkSafe Tasmania Month. WorkSafe Month is an initiative that is funded by the WorkCover Tasmania Board. Please head to worksafe.tas.gov.au to find out what other webinars and in-person events we are running throughout the month of October here in Tasmania. Today's webinar was also recorded. Please head to our WorkSafe Tasmania's YouTube page to rewatch any webinars that we do run this year and in previous years as well. So again, thank you to our presenter and thank you to everyone who attended, and please have a safe and healthy day. Thanks.